You have bigger visions than this business alone, visions bigger than your own bank balance. And somewhere in you, you already know that this business is meant to finance them. Yet still you're holding yourself back. You tell yourself that you're being unrealistic, that your business is too small to matter beyond itself, that who are you to build a movement? How is that ever going to be possible? Even though entrepreneurial leadership makes sense to you by now, it can still feel like a private shift, a fix for your own nervous system, rather than something that reaches anywhere past your own four walls. None of that is a failure of ambition or a sign that it isn't for you. It's conditioning, and it's because no one's made clear what the mechanism actually is, the thing that connects your own leadership to anything bigger than you. Hi there, I'm Lyndon. This channel is about entrepreneurial leadership, decision-making that holds throughout uncertainty, self-trust as something practical rather than aspirational. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been around a while, welcome back. Today, we're talking big picture. When you lead from internal authority instead of outsourcing your authority, when you stop needing certainty before you'll take action in your business, what changes first is you, then how you behave in your business, and from there, the reality of the business that you create. Money and influence, wherever they sit, get directed by whoever's holding them. And the decisions that you make from discernment and self-trust are not the decisions that you make from anxiety or scarcity, not because you're a better business owner, but because you're operating from an entirely different place. Your thought process is different because you've done the work to make it so. Now, multiply that by every woman in business doing this at the same time. Money that would have moved through fear moves through clarity instead. Visibility that would never have been created gets used for purpose. Your business becomes one of the channels that your bigger vision actually moves through and is realized from, not a destination that it eventually reaches. A business run from anxiety is usually just trying to survive its next launch. But this is the piece worth focusing on. The internal work of entrepreneurial leadership isn't separate from your bigger vision. It's the infrastructure for it. So what does that actually look like? Well, we stop treating our businesses as something separate from the change that we want to see in the world. We make decisions knowing that whatever we provide in our business is the piece that we are holding, the part of the puzzle that contributes to the whole. And this isn't about size of business. It can be if that's what you want. But what matters more is that this is the business that expands you, that expands your life, your happiness, because you're acting more decisively. And that has knock-on effects right through the whole business building cycle. That's the ripple effect felt in what actually moves in your business and in how you show up in it. Here's a way to picture it. Change runs on a spectrum. At one end, it's the ripple effect that we've just talked about. One decision made from discernment instead of fear, moving through your business into your own life. At the other end, it's what happens when enough of us make those decisions at the same time. Capital and visibility are redirected at scale, and that starts to look like a movement. It's simply what happens when the internal work moves through enough hands at once. Leading yourself well isn't just for a private outcome in your business, something that only shows up in your own results. It reaches further than that, especially when you actively let it. Given how many women there are in online business, and given that money is one measure of a business doing its job, it's worth knowing that women make up 73% of donors globally. And among high net worth households, 93% of women give to charity compared with 87% of men. That's not proof that entrepreneurial leadership creates that pattern, but it's an illustration of the wider point that money in women's hands tends to move somewhere useful. So something worth sitting with this week. Where in your business are you still leading in a way that no one else can see or learn from, either in the practical day-to-day actions of being an example that allows someone to feel represented, or through owning and articulating that you have a bigger movement in mind? And what would change if you let that be visible? Next time, I'm bringing something to you that I haven't spoken about that much yet. It's the return of Emerald and Lime, my eco-friendly stationery business, and what it's actually looked like to lead myself through that relaunch. Not the tidied up version, the actual one, faith wobbling and all, because entrepreneurial leadership work does change your experience of business, but it's not a switch that you flip once. It's a practice you keep returning to, and we all have our own version of an Achilles heel. And I'll show what managing mine has actually looked like. Every Tuesday, I write a letter to help you strengthen your own thinking and give you one leadership prompt connected to the week's YouTube conversation, a free weekly practice to help you step away from the online noise. So if you want to receive these letters on entrepreneurial thinking, they're free, like I say, and there's a link to sign up in the description below. And if you're new here, please do subscribe. This channel is for women building online businesses, the kind of businesses meant to hold something bigger than itself. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.